Okay, let's get this stream started by booting up Skyrim. There it is. I've done this for 2 weeks, because I haven't actually played any Skyrim in 2 weeks. And has YouTube unmuted itself? No, it hasn't. Thankfully. Nothing much really happened in the Elder Scrolls worlds. Or Fallout 4 worlds. Nothing much has really happened. It's just nothing. I mean, Skywind's released a bit more concept art, whoop-de-doo. I mean, you know, sure they released a trailer a couple of weeks back, but other than that, there's like no sign that they actually make any progress. Oblivion been releasing concept art and finished articles, screenshots of finished articles. Oh wow. There's a sale, but it's just something I would never want, ever. Because I don't really use the pets much. You know, the mud crab is the dwarven mud crab is funny. That's why I have it. That's about it. That's the sole reason I have it is because it's funny. But Oblivion has been really quite good. They do show progress. Skywind is like it's the longest going, and it's also the one that's I think somehow managed to release the least amount of finished content. Maybe for New Vegas is a bit lower. But they were doing really well for a while, and then they stopped their weekly updates. Because they used to have like a weekly dev blog and a weekly screenshot release. It used to be really, really reliable. And then they just stopped. Okay, where the hell was I? What was I doing? I actually have no idea what I was doing. I actually have no idea what I was doing. God. Anything except Forsworn Conspiracy, I guess. Okay, so if I was trying to cross over here, I must have been trying to go to... Do I go that way? I mean, there's 4 things that way, so... I think I was trying to get away from Markov. It's a great winter watch it is, so I'm pretty much straight line bearing a little right. What the f... I swear I just saw a bear running along. Or deer, or whatever it is. Cow. I swear I saw it was running along a moment ago. What was that? I don't even know what that was. Let me see. Called Gigabutt. That was it. That's why it's just sort of farting out with one click. I get a feeling Draelus was supposed to be involved in something, possibly Mage's Guild. Because he just seems a little odd. He has his own Whiterun style house, you know, a full little cottage in the middle of nowhere, with his own, you know, his own little farmstead, you know, homestead in the middle of nowhere. And he's hostile and doesn't have any unique dialogue. It just seems a bit odd to me. Like he was involved in something. Probably either Companions or Mages Guild. Both are cut quite heavily. Mage's Guild probably a little more so. Your Companions at least seem to have a lot of their stuff there, they just don't actually have it linked up to anything. Oh dear, I'm sliding down a hill. Oh dear. I don't even know what I'm summoning. always take their gear off. Oh, it's only a skelly. It's like it's only a skelly. It's not remotely threatening. That, on the other hand, is something that deserves smashing into oblivion. Where did it go? I need its booty. And you! Skillies! This is the toughest skelly. And it's still shit. I don't even know why I blocked a skelly, it dies in one hit. They're kind of shit. And a skelly with a crossbow is just embarrassing. Skellies just suck. He's not a very good Deathlord, he ain't got a Nordic sword. Normally Deathlords have ebony. He's clearly a low level to fur. You know, considering he's supposed to be the boss of this little location, you'd expect him to be a bit better than the two sub-bosses I just fought. But who ever knows? With Skyrim, who knows? Oh, my little stinker's trying to get in. I hear him snorting under the door. Ew, I hate lockpicking. I want Oblivion's back. Oblivion's was a test of skill, not just blind luck. Ooh, Mandosaur. I didn't realise it pulsated. I did not know that. Ooh, Nightshade. Flowers. Can't go wrong with flowers. Ooh, more flowers. The ooh flowers reflex is something you develop from playing any Elder Scrolls game post Morrowind. So Skyrim or Oblivion, because Oblivion had the ooh flowers reflex as well. Like I said, it wasn't as important. I mean, one, flowers were absolutely everywhere in Oblivion, and two, strangely enough, alchemy ingredients in general were absolutely everywhere in Oblivion. I mean, your basic food items were alchemy, and typically combined together to form alchemy as well. To the point where getting alchemy up in Skyrim is a pain in the arse, while getting it up in Oblivion, it's kind of a joke and really easy. And when you do, it's like you could just distill anything, effectively anything, down into a potion of whatever its first effect is, and it's kind of hilariously overpowered. I mean, you can turn a carrot into a much better stamina regeneration potion. It's kind of silly. And I know for a fact that bread plus carrot equals stamina potion, even though it really shouldn't. It should just result in something absolutely disgusting that would probably cause you to lose health. Yeah. I also found something funny out. The mod I never use on stream, I thought it didn't have a debug function. It has a debug spell, but that just does nothing. That just, weirdly enough, causes more issues than it actually fixes anything. It's completely and utterly broken. I think it was something related to a legacy version. However, there is actually a debug effect, but it is never actually... That works perfectly. It completely debugs any issue that even console won't fix. Console can't fix. Such as removing the keywords the mod uses to function, which can completely screw up its functionality if they get stuck. Especially if one of the keywords gets stuck on player, it completely screws up the functionality of the mod. However, the debug, weirdly enough, works perfectly, but it's never implemented in anything. It's just a magic effect which you can't actually apply to yourself with console. I'm just seeing if you actually can make this Luna shit. Because I am convinced you cannot make Luna stuff. You're supposed to be able to make the Luna Forge stuff, but I've always found that you can't. Even though you're supposed to. The question is, what is that? Is it a bear? Can't be, it's not like enough racket. Is it a wolf? Possibly. Is this a bandit that ran away? No, it's a pygmy troll. Oh, let's put it out of its misery. And take its fat. It's delicious, delicious fat.
Kill you! I must have scared them off. Wabbajack, 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 wabbajack.
Do I have the wabbajack? That's the question, do I? No, I don't have the wabbajack on me.
Wabbajack, 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 wabbajack.
Yeah. I don't have it on me. It won't be used. Go to the museum. Take it, staff, point at yourself, fire. And then Orion can put it back up. I guess there actually was some modding news, weirdly enough. I just remembered. I don't know if it was before or after last stream. But there was some, after all. The Capital Wasteland team released quite a large bundle of settlement objects. Most of which will be actually present in Capital Wasteland, except the exterior parts. For house decorating purposes, because that's what they're using settlements for. You know, it's quite a sizable bundle. And, you know, by various members of the team, mostly Turkey. You know, for someone who said he wasn't very good at hard surfaces, he seems to be very good at hard surfaces. Why is the arrow in the piss bucket? In the very tall piss bucket? Because let's face it, that's what the bucket on duty is for. I think that's probably the wrongest thing I've ever done, is just walking along the pointy wall. Screams, "I'm gonna break you open," and you come up and says, "What's the hurry?" Oh, bandits are so lame. I'm wondering if that's something that Sky Oblivion will fit. You know, like, Sky Oblivion has... Oh yeah, that came up as like, will bandits have different outfits? Like Skyrim's do, because technically there's like 4 or 5 variations of fur armour. They're not actually... it's not just one item. It's one set, but there's like 4 or 5 different variations of the actual armour. And Sky Oblivion said no, they won't do that because it's already a hard enough task to recreate the hundreds of items in Oblivion anyway. Although they did say they won't be doing like the aggressive gear scaling like Oblivion does, which was ridiculous, to be honest. I mean, having a bandit clad in full glass, ebony or Daedric gear mugging you for 100 gold was just laughable. And Daedric gear was absolutely everywhere in Oblivion. I know it should be more common because like there's actual invasion going on, but every bandit in the world should not be equipped in like the highest, most expensive armor. That just makes no sense. You know, it makes no sense whatsoever, and yet Oblivion did it because Oblivion's level scaling was just really aggressive. I must have been through here recently. That can't be. He's actually heading in the right direction for once. I've seen him go on his way to bloody Markov on his pilgrimage. Like, does he not know what a map is? Does he not consult his map? Or did someone give him Morrowind directions where they said where the where you're trying to go is in the northeast, and they tell you to go to the southwest because for some reason they get the directions completely wrong.
Hold. Now cast.
You mud crab. It's so dangerous. I think this is a troll cave, if I can ever get up there, because mountain climbing is not that difficult. It's actually a lot easier to do than reality. Oh, the bear's not floating down the river. Can't make my dead bears float joke. Very wouldn't watch. Troll cave, crossbow, bang bang bang. Or clink clink clink, whatever noise a crossbow makes. Ooh, shrooms. Sweet, sweet shrooms. And troll fat. And only troll fat. This is a rather disappointing little caveling, isn't it? It's tiny. And yet it's still more detailed than an Oblivion dungeon. Because the Oblivion dungeon was literally just a few pieces of the tile sets clipped together with like 5 enemies dotted through it. At most. And like 2 or 3 treasure chests of no value. That it was a typical Oblivion dungeon. Like, there was no actual extra details. Just the tile set. It was quite sad. Even Morrowind had more details than just the tile set. Granted, its dungeons made that one look big, but... because Morrowind's dungeons were absolutely tiny for some reason. I'm not quite sure why, because that era, PS2 era, yes, it wasn't exactly the most capable thing ever. Because Morrowind was Xbox exclusive, the original Xbox, not the Xbox 360, which was also called the Xbox, or the Xbox One, which was also called the Xbox. It was PS2 era. It was back in the PS2 era, and it was because the PS2 era was a long one. Because the Xbox only came out in the back end of the PS2 era. Because the PS2 was one of the earliest ones. The Dreamcast was the first, I think, truly to be called that console generation. It was also the last of the Sega consoles, but... oh no, not gigants. Abominations is what they are. God, this thing has no range. Keep my sweet, sweet giant toes, because they're the only thing that gets alchemy up at a reasonable rate. Unmarked giant cave. One of just 2, I think. There's not many of them. And I don't believe this one actually has a giant in it. Just skewers and skewer hides. No, this one doesn't actually have any giants in it. I'm sick of you, Knight. But, as I was saying, the PS2 era was capable of more. I mean, granted, you can't look at something like Final Fantasy XII, for example. That really pushed what the PS2 era could do. It really pushed the hardware limitations, but even other games at the time had bigger interior cells than that, than Morrowind's, because Morrowind's were, like, really tiny for some reason. I don't really get why, because the dungeons didn't need to be that tiny. Then again, I don't know how the original Xbox actually compared to the PS2. I don't know if it was weaker or comparable, or noticeably weaker. I don't know. It was always a bit of an oddball console, and I was someone who actually had a Dreamcast, so I did have one of the oddball consoles. And the sad thing is, the Dreamcast was actually a good console. It was just like nothing was ever really made for it. And to be honest, I think it came a little too early. Because if you look at what the Dreamcast actually did, it had internet connectivity. But it was before online gaming was very much the big thing it is now. At this point, online gaming is detrimental to offline gaming. It's got to the point where it's so big that it crucifies anything that isn't online gaming. Uh-oh. Gigabutt, help my ass. I love how actually ineffective the storm call is most of the time. I've seen him stuck halfway in the ground. Oh, speaking of strange bugs. Where's the Giantess gone? Where's it gone? Or did Alduin just flatten it? Alduin just flattened it. Got it. Summon a Dark Golden Saint to get rid of Alduin's mighty ass. And moving on. So, strange bugs. Didn't happen to me. It happened to my sister, who runs a much more heavily modded game than mine, but nothing that actually touches the Civil War. So you know it's going to be a good one the second the Civil War gets mentioned, because the amount of bugs in that fucker are just beyond incredible. Oh dear. It's a double dragon ass, oh dear. Because one of those is a random, and then obviously Derpy is a dragon ass. Oh dear. That's not gonna go well. I'll just summon Alduin's mighty ass again. But no, the bug she had was during the Jagged Crown quest. Starting the quest, she had several active quests and had completed several quests. So, like a normal person, because you're going to have at least some. Once she actually got the Jagged Crown, and went to a different part of the dungeon, leaving it, everything in a quest log, so, except the Jagged Crown quest, so, think of that as a Jagged Crown quest, Animal Extermination. Everything from here all the way down to here, apparently just up and vanish. All the way down to the very, very bottom of these complete quests, which I have so many, I'm just going to scroll through them all. But everything vanished. It was a repeatable bug. She loaded an autosave before grabbing the Jagged Crown, and the same thing happened. So then she realised that there was something wrong with the Jagged Crown quest, and tried to load the autosave again. the autosaver gone because it was the only... Because obviously there's quite a few dungeon stages, and the oldest autosave is always the one overwritten. So she had to go back several hours. Whether it happens again when she does the Jagged Crown quest is another matter. Because to me that would point at something severe. You know, a truly repeating bug. However, if it disappears, you know, if it doesn't disappear, you know, the entire quest log doesn't disappear, then was clearly something just wrong with that save and a one-time repeating bug. Which means that the trigger for it probably had already happened. Because bugs like that don't just happen. You know, especially when you have nothing that touches the Civil War quest. That's a weird one. And it's actually stands as one of the weirdest bugs I've ever heard of. Another one being the pink lod I encountered. There was no reason in hell that should have existed. You know, removing all lod files should have got rid of it, but it didn't. I had to actually extract the LODs from the actual game files to get rid of them, which was bizarre. It's the one time I've never seen anything overwrite like it should. But, you know, I've seen that happen in Oblivion, because Oblivion's overwrite system was weird. It, you know, BSA or not, whichever one was the newest file would take priority. Which could lead to some really bizarre situations. Such as, I think, the differing Sheogorath voices, like which one you get being pretty much random. I cannot fight both of those on my own. Alduin, get your fat ass in here. Oh yeah, Alduin can't go in water. Because if Alduin goes in water, the tides rise too much and the world floods. Is that... What the What the fuck? I have never seen that happen before. Actually gone living corpse. And on a... And that's why you don't go near these monsters. That was weird. Dang it. Because I need to kill those Oh, you... Didn't go back too far, at least. Oh. See, that's why you quick save all the time. You never know when things might actually kill you. Yeah, because I have things like dragons buffed to be not wimpy, because vanilla dragons are hilariously crap. Like even, you know, certain things like choruses, and like chorus reapers and giants will just decimate you in vanilla. Dragons, you get bit, and it does less damage than a bandit swinging a sword at you. It's laughably crap. Question is, Yes, this giant has changed. See, in Morrowind that would probably have been in set, or in, say, Fallout New Vegas that would have been preset. Oblivion, again, it would have been preset because there's only like... If it was a human enemy, it would have been random. it would have probably changed. But seeing as it's a set creature type, it wouldn't have changed, because Oblivion, like, there's only like one creature. Like, so mountain creature, it turns into ogres at high level. You know, a wolf type, you know, a four-legged little annoyance creature, I think turns into a mountain cat at max, you know, like at levels over 20. It's all very static, and I do hope Oblivion fixes that. Skyrim does have like max level for individual spawns, so some will level permanently with you, but they still always have a chance of spawning something a bit lower. Oh no. Not Mirak cultists. They're not very good, are they, Mirak cultists? That's actually something strange I can note, is that Dragonborn is actually pretty well integrated. Think about it. It's got a few new random encounters that can only happen in Skyrim, not on Solstheim. Most of the stuff is Solstheim specific. It's like distinctly, like, it's either unique to Solstheim, Stalfrim, for example, or unique to Morrowind, like Morrowind, which Solstheim is a part of. So you got that angle going, you know, which would be like the chitons, bone moles, that sort of thing. And then there's obviously the random encounters, but there's also the fact that Nordic gear, something that should appear in Skyrim, does appear in Skyrim. Granted, pretty much every bandit boss, but it appears instead of steel plate or just steel at low levels. Here's a quote. That's funny. Other creatures have random spawned from a mile, you know, spawned from quite a distance, or, you know, quite close. Cause I don't think that's an. If that's an Elder Arcane, oh no. Here's a question. The Khajiit are, like, everything except, like, the basic two-legged biped Khajiit you see in, like, main real Elder Scrolls games. Most of, the lore Khajiit are written, like, really bad fanfiction. Like, someone who had a cat fetish wrote it. Writ it isn't a word. Ugh. Eldon, get your fat ass down here. Oof. Oh! Shouts lock up. Like, you hold it, but it only releases halfway. What the f... I'm curious as to what that is. What on earth is going on there? Oh, Stormcloak versus Falmor Justiciars. The deities, not humans. Technically, as I are Zargonians. You know, consider it. Skyrim's engine is surprisingly robust when it comes to, like, ridiculous dragon fights. Let's think about it. It is surprisingly robust when it comes to ridiculous dragon fights, where there's like 3 of them, which will be a absurdly rare occurrence. There's only like one or 2 actual occurrences I can think of where that could even happen. You get the extremely rare dragons dueling random encounter, where there's 2 of them fighting each other, which can't happen anywhere near a dragon mound. And then you summon Odovine or Durnavir. Oh, this loser. Look at him. He's almost dead. He got meteored. What's gigabutt fighting? Probably a dragon looking at it. Oh no, she's smacking that dragoness down with her tail. Got it. I didn't even know that was possible, but you see new things every day. I didn't think it had that kind of range, but clearly it does. Never underestimate the ridiculousness of a dragon AI, ever. Like, ever underestimate how ridiculous it is. It looks like the premature soul absorption was a weird bug, because it's not happening again. It's Alduin's ass coming down. That's the one that doesn't heal down. In this rail bit. Okay, that's taking up position very, very high. I've never actually seen them take up position that high before. Then again, I think the dragon pathing up here, because they are on a path most of the time. They do have a bit of free roam, but there are like designated orbit paths they do where they do like these designated figure eights in the sky. They do actually, there are like little paths hidden in the creation key. Well, they do have some ability to fly on their own. I mean, they're not very good at it, but they do actually have some ability to fly on their own. Because I've seen them do it in interior cell, so clearly they have some ability. Because obviously an interior cell will not have a dragon pathing. Look at the size difference. It's dawned on me that dragons are like hilariously easy to gimp. Like, because let's face it, ranged weapons in Elder Scrolls are kind of broken. Like, and because you can dragons can barely move when they're on the ground. Ooh. Those bites hurt. Because this thing has like several thousand HP, which means... And also... Actually no, the damage resist does not apply to other dragons, no. I also gave all dragonesses and like the female giants, all of those have like a massive damage reduction on them. Something like 75% for NPCs, 50% for player sort of thing. So dragons have even more. And it's... You know, it's to count the fact that they're supposed to be high... You know, they were all built as high-level enemies. You know, I didn't want them being a bit... well, wimpy. You know, I wanted them to be a threat even later on, sort of thing. But I made sure that dragons could still go through it, because, you know, otherwise dragon fights would be ridiculous. What are you even... The f is that? What the f... I've never actually read this one before, so we actually get to read it on stream, which is weird. Mad, clearly. Gut-driven madness. Clearly a bit of a nut job. Oh, it's only goblins. Was that skeleton sunbathing? It's the revised edition. I called it that on purpose. If only Alduin's mighty ass was still here, I could get rid of these pesky goblins. I'm not resummoning Alduin just for goblins. Goblins just aren't worth it. Okay. That's a vanilla placement. Why is that clipping so badly? I don't have anything that replaces the mesh of Jack Bake Wapes. Return to Tanger, you might as well do that before I end up accidentally getting rid of that crap, because I can never remember what it is. Quick save before I die again. The red weed. Who knew Martians have been here? This giant's always friendly. This morning is dead mammoth. I think this is the way to Riften. I just know every time I try to go to Riften, I always seem to end up going to bloody Windhelm. Oh no! I'll put it out to its misery again.
Now cast.
A randomly hostile Nord. Oh, stop shield turtling. Turtling. It doesn't work. No, no, not the ancient glass golem. And the thing is, the frost axe in Skyrim look threatening, but they're actually kind of laughably useless. Like, I've never actually been seriously hurt by one, they're kind of useless. Usually the thing that summons them is far more dangerous than they are. Oh, speaking of Atronax, Skyblivion is redesigning the Atronax to fit the more Oblivion aesthetic. Like, the Flame Atronax will have the more Oblivion style armour, although it won't have the ridiculous Trolldolesque hair. And I call it hair because it didn't look like fire, it looked like hair. And it was bad. They looked ridiculous. Like, actually ridiculous. Like, and I've seen they've actually got that one in game at least somewhat finished, because there was a couple of screenshots on it. I can't remember if it was, I think it was on the Discord, or it could have been on the Twitter, I'm not sure. Probably on the Discord, there's always a lot of stuff on the Discord. That seems to be the main release platform for things. But they also had concept art of the Storm Atronax, and it looked sort of like a hybrid. It had what the Oblivion one was going for, combined with obviously the skeleton of Skyrim's. Yeah, which actually looked like a Storm Atronax rather than a very, very fat golem. Because that's what Oblivion's looked like. It was a fat Atronax. It looked awful. I don't particularly... Even though they were like bloody everywhere, because I kept coming across the Blood Atronax and all the other things that were just like recoloured Frost Atronax, I can't remember what they actually looked like. Even though they were everywhere, because like the recoloured Frost Atronax was clearly the most easy to make enemy. Because, let's face it, Oblivion's monster mod was nowhere near as good as Immersive Creatures. I love how they're stronger in death than they were in life. Then again, that's the nature remote. It's like the only skellies that are actually stronger in death. Who knew? Some of the skellies has revived. I swear one of these is scripted to revive every time, because I've never had them where they haven't. Oh look, there one goes. Like, I swear these are scripted to, no matter what happens. And yes, skellies can use daggers. Don't know where it got that dagger from, but it had a dagger. No, but I swear these skellies, at least one of these skellies is scripted to revive, no matter what your setting is. Because the odds are that they shouldn't, but they do. Like everything, because I've got the odds quite low, it's like 5%. And I don't have multiple revivals, because that gives me horrible Dark Cloud flashbacks with the mummies that just kept getting back up. And remember in the stream earlier I said I hadn't played Skyrim for 2 weeks, so I'd been doing other things. That's what I was doing, I was replaying Dark Cloud. That is a fucking brutal game, because it's quite clunky. I forgot quite how clunky it was. It doesn't play particularly well. The idea was good, but the implementation was rough. It was quite a rough thing. It's the point where, like, any class that wasn't any character that wasn't a ranged character was really quite unfun to play. Because, well, you think this crappy axe has, like, no range whatsoever. That was pretty much all Amelia in Dark Cloud, is like, you had no range. Enemies would take at least, and I mean at least, a third of your health off every hit. The blocking was slow and rarely ever actually worked, and some attacks just seemed to go straight through it anyway. And like your attacks were really slow and the enemy attacks were really quite fast, so you could often get hit before you know, even though you'd like pre-swung and like halfway through swinging when approaching, you still managed to get hit before or you actually landed yours. It was not a particularly fun experience replaying it. The sequel, Dark Cloud 2 or Dark Chronicle, depending what region you're in, for some reason the name changed. And even stranger is the main character, his appearance is different depending which region you're in as well. And it's got nothing to do with the name change. The name change is independent of it. It's weird. It's just a really weird thing, but then again, weird, Japan, kind of the same thing. But the controls in that are so much better. You know, it's like, it'll be like comparing Fallout 4's gunplay to Fallout 3's. It's a massive improvement, and it is very hard to go back. You know, it's one of those things where it's hard to go back. I wouldn't say Skyrim and Oblivion's are that different. They both have pretty decent hit detection, at least. I mean, Oblivion's is ridiculous. You just keep going swing, 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 and then you can. Blocking is too easy because you just put your block up and then you can swing through it half the time. But, you know, Oblivion's actually does feel pretty slick still. It does. It's not. The reason I stopped doing Oblivion streams was partly for my own sanity, but mostly because it was causing weird technical issues. You know, it was causing very weird technical issues on my computer, and I didn't want to go through that because it seemed to. It never shut down properly. And it caused bizarre technical issues where, like, UI elements ghost forever until I logged off and logged back on. Switching users wasn't enough. It was a really bizarre thing, which is why primarily why I stopped Oblivion streams. But Oblivion doesn't actually play that badly. It's got some bloody weird leveling mechanics. And graphically, it is aged horribly. But, I mean, it's laughable. No, I'm not going to say aged horribly, I'm going to say aged laughably. Because it is laughable. The way Oblivion looks is just ridiculous. I don't know if it was intentional that it looks so ridiculous, but it is.
Here. I want you to accept this as payment for your sacrifice. And we both thank you. Welcome to the Bee and Bard, milady. If I can interest you in one of our special things.
We've been Riften for quite some time now, Lady Mule. I fear that you soon may leave us.
Was that all the business I had in this shithole? Because I'm not starting a Thieves... God, they really don't half pressure you into going Thieves Guild, do they? You know, in Oblivion you had to sort of go out of your way and seek it out with the beggars. In Skyrim, it's like almost forced upon you. Seriously, I'm not kidding, it really is almost forced upon you. Because main quest, it's like, unless you know where Esbern is, you have to join the Thieves Guild to learn unless you already know. It's one of those things, it's like, they for some reason they force you to join the fucking Thieves Guild, and I don't get it. In Oblivion, you really had to go out of your way to do it. In Skyrim, you're basically forced into it. It's like with Mages College in Oblivion, you had, the Mage Guild, you had to really go out of your way to get into that. Skyrim, you sort of get in on a story quest unless you know where some crazy old man's hidden. Then again, getting into it in Skyrim is as simple as casting a spell, a singular spell. It's kind of laughable. I think the Mages Guild questline is actually one of the worst. It is just bad. It's like it's clearly cut. It's like someone had the content but then cut it down so much that like none of it really makes any sense, and it doesn't really work at all. It's a pretty terrible quest as far as it goes. There's potential, but it's like so badly done. It's just so badly done that there's no reason to actually do it. It's a very poor quest line. It's just sad because it has potential. Mages ones always have potential to be really interesting, but Skyrim's is just like a lost opportunity. And it does distinctly feel like the Windhelm Arena, like it was something that there's a lot more of it present, and the companions have this to a lesser degree. Just feel like the Radiant system that the Thieves Guild has wasn't hooked up to who the companions like it should have been. Most of the stuff, everything's there with the companions. That's the strange thing. It's just not hooked up at all. While the Mages College, there's actually is quite a lot of things that are clearly cut. Like they're there, like they're collecting the 4 apprentices' items, like the 2 daggers, the necklace from the burned corpse, and etc. That stuff. That is actually a quest, but it's never actually. It's voiced and everything, but it's not hooked up or anything. It's clearly one of those things that got cut quite late on because you wouldn't bother recording dialogue for it. But that sums up quite a lot of Skyrim. Is like there's clearly cut content. I never felt that way with, for example. Where's Madness? Oh no, it's under Ebony, isn't it, or something? No, Daedric. No. Oh, Misk. That's it. They're all under Misk. 126 for that. Yes, so Amber's the same as Dragonbone, but I'm pretty sure Madness is better. What did I do? I buffed the Golden Saint Dark Seducer stuff to actually be like good. Didn't that? Wait, Hunt Marksman? Didn't that appear in Ebony? No, Hunt Vanguard, the heavy stuff did. That was it. Madness armor. I know Madness Battle Axe 130. I need 5 Madness ingots. I don't even know if I've got enough to do that. And of course, Riften doesn't have a smelter. Seriously, like, why are smelters so rare? Like, seriously, why? Why are they so rare?
What brings you to Bal? Take a look.
There's something that should be pretty common, but they're not. Oh, bloody fake cards. Showed up with so many of the fucking things. And yet I've never without resorting to Trader, I've never found a full set. My enchanting and max, why am I carrying low grade soul gems? God, I forgot how valuable diamonds were.
Come see me again.
Like, 1 diamond is enough to clear out many merchants.
Let me guess. Someone stole your sweet roll?
Let me guess, you're completely useless. I feel like there was supposed to be a statue or something here. Just a thought. And I'm thinking, this is just thinking that there was evidence early, not much, but there is evidence to suggest that there was a Destroy the Thieves Guild quest. Like go in, lead a group, go in with a group of guards and destroy them. So I'm thinking maybe, like, that sort of spot that looked clearly like it's meant for a statue is for a little statue of player, maybe, or just a commemorative statue of just, like, Riften being freed from the Thieves Guild. Because I get the distinct impression that was the case before the Civil War. Because, remember, the Civil War was clearly a late addition. Being able to pick a side was clearly a late addition. And if you know, the Imperials often have it a bit weird. Like, Mark, for example, Riften is a Stormcloak town. So, if you take into the fact that Maven was never supposed to be Jarl, a Destroy the Thieves Guild quest makes sense, because early on, it's like, you get the distinct impression the Stormcloaks weren't called the Stormcloaks, they were called the Sons of Skyrim, because that's how they're referred to in the creation kit. And they didn't have their, like, hilariously racist tendencies that they have. They were more noble. Oh no, not a glass golem. I'm so sad. But when you think about it, if the Stormcloaks are supposed to be the only faction in the Civil War, you fought against the Imperials, which will probably have been made more corrupt. You then start to think that, yes, maybe the Destroy the Thieves Guild could work, if Elegla was the only Jarl, because Maven's obviously connected to the Thieves Guild, they're her personal thugs. But you take the Thieves Guild down, realise that Maven's the one who's basically been keeping them alive, covering for them, and then deal with and put Maven in jail as well. And then you'd be a hero of Riften for getting rid of all the corruption. Bloody hell is this one? Champion's Rest? What the hell is Champion's Rest? This isn't like the Umbra Creation Club thingy, is it? I'm thinking it might be. This doesn't look familiar. Because of course I've got the stupid auto starts thanks to a collection of patches where people had realised that they were stupid and made patches to stop them. Because auto starts are a pain in the arse. There's no justifiable need for an auto start either. Let's see. General rule in gaming. Everything is designed on the assumption that people always go right. So go left, and that's what you tend to find the extra stuff. Just an interesting little factoid. There's the sacred exit. There's the booby trap crate. Yeah, you always get your bonus credit by going left. It's one of the strange tenets of game design. And it's been present for a long time. It's like, always go left. Because that's where you find the interesting stuff. Because for some reason, everyone always goes right. They seem to have put care into this dungeon. So, fish, snake. Could be anything. I'm gonna say snake. So fish, snake, snake. That should be right. That's unusual. Never had open sarcophagus as an option before. So they're trying new things with this. I have to give them credit. This is a nice little dungeon so far. It's got it's a little different from other dungeons, but it's it has the vanilla feel, but it's not. And I've been fucked. Oh, you insufferable turd. And where did my crossbow go? There. So, snake, bird. And that looks like fish, I would say. So, yes, fish. I reject your reality and substitute my own. Ah, and my axe has gone AWOL now. I fucking hate this arm. Okay, this is the search for my bloody weapon. There it is. It helps to have a distinctive weapon, because otherwise it's gone forever. Now I bet you this one doesn't work. No, because I haven't activated the torches. I didn't activate the torches. I am a dingbat. And you know what? If there's going to be another Death Lord fight, which there is, because there always is. You want to be a cheap piece of shit? Fine. I'll be a cheaper piece of shit. You want to be cheap? I can spam you with magic, because I've got max enchanting gear. And you're not the amphitheater. Oh! Hello! Hello, Maxim. Been a while since I've had anyone. Okay, that's new. Sealed with. You know what? I can still cheat through it. Traps. Your traps do not threaten me, Nords. Get the crossbow out. Boink. Oh, how did I miss? Think. How did I miss? Ooh. Oh no, dread zombie. He woke up. The main reason I have destruction enchanted so it doesn't actually cost anything is actually so I can use enchantments on weapons without them draining, because refilling things is a pain in the arse. Scroll. It's the Elder Scrolls. That's the way down. You don't have the bars if it's not. No Draugr getting up, which is very highly unusual. Lots of glowing shrooms. Can't go wrong with shrooms. Shrooms are always good. This looks like an amphitheatre. Oh, Oblivion music! Oh, I see, you're a gimmick fight. Yeah, the question is... See, they've actually put a little effort into this. Putting the Oblivion music in is a nice touch. Oh, when Oblivion spells! Oh! Paralysis! Oh, how I hate thee. Oh, paralysis. I forgot how fucking annoying paralysis was. Like, seriously, paralysis is one of the most annoying things in the universe. Oh, only a fire blast. That's not very that's not very dangerous. Quite why Umbra was suddenly two-handed. Especially when they went through the effort to give it Oblivion music to remind you of Oblivion. It seems a bit... just seems a bit odd. And then the Skyrim music comes back. And the reason I call it Umbra Reborn is because it's two-handed. And the enchantment's actually better than Umbra, even though it is Umbra in appearance, it's just, for some reason, two-handed. I'm not quite sure why. Yeah, that was an interesting little dungeon. The Oblivion music's a nice touch. You can never go wrong with Oblivion's music. Like, ever. It's just something you can't go wrong with. Everyone in Skyrim writes journals. It's also kind of odd that there's the impression that other people are looting these tombs, not just player. Oh dear. Never take the everything everything Clavicus Vile does has some horrible, horrible caveat to it. Don't... If Clavicus Vile offers you anything, just say no. Except I think Umbra was one of Clavicus Vile's things that went wrong and became its own thing, because Clavicus Vile is pretty useless. Because when it comes down to it, I think Clavicus Vile is one of the most incompetent and inept Daedra. All the others at least have some... Even Sheogorath is competent in what he does. He's just mad. And an unhealthy obsession for cheese, but that's a different matter. But Clavicus Vile just seems a bit incompetent. No, it's interesting that they... Yeah. A little interesting boss fight. The dungeon itself's interesting. And crucially, unlike many mods, actually feels vanilla. It's something mods often fail to do. It's... they often have things that, like... The design ethos behind them isn't vanilla a lot of the time. It's very, very hard to match it, because you actually need to be really skilled to match it. Because when it comes to world building, Bethesda is actually one of the best at it. Like, the actual art of physically building the worlds. Bethesda is kind of very, very good at it. It's just one of those things that they are actually really good at. And it's something, even at their worst, Fallout 76, the world is still well designed. It's something Bethesda's always been very good at. And while modders try, many of them do fail to come close. And there's always like the bipolar quality of modding, which Legacy of Dragonborn sums up really well as... That is really bipolar. For everything that's really... for everything that's really well made, there's something that's really quite poorly made. It's weird. Not weaklings. Yeah, that animation set is not right for goblins. Weaklings are hyperactive and a bit spazzy, because that's kind of what they are. Which doesn't really fit goblins. The Fulmer animation set fits goblins much better, just make them a little less hunched. Which you can do with a skeleton edit. You don't actually, the animation set remains the same. Because the Fulmer are a bit hunchy. Immersive creatures, goblins look... It's actually one of the few cases where I say the mod is better than the Creation Club equivalent. For Skyrim, at least. It's one of the few cases where I say that the mod's done it better, because I just don't think Reekling is a good skeleton for goblins. Goblins don't use spears, especially the Cyrodiilic kind are meant to be. Goblins also don't jump around all the time. They're kind of slow and sedate, even. Why is this fox hostile? Is there a Spriggan nearby? Torch bug. Need to catch the torch bug. Yes, there's a Spriggan nearby. when you see the pulse of green, you know there's a Spriggan nearby. Wrong shout again. It wouldn't be a Skyrim stream without wolves, would it? Hell, it wouldn't be a Skyrim session without encountering wolves. They are omnipresent. Ugh, that's a creepy thought to think. November next year, so November 2021, Skyrim will be 10. Yeah, let that sink in. And we still won't have Elder Scrolls 6. Again, let that sink in. Because Elder Scrolls 6 is destined to be about 3 or 4 years after Starfield, because, you know, that's how Bethesda works. And, well, that's still not out. The earliest that could come out is this year.
Guard might get nervous. A woman approaches with her weapon drawn.
And you don't know... And it's a case of... Is it actually possible? Like Elder Scrolls 6 will be seen... It's not even... Yes, it's been confirmed to be in development, but... shit can still happen. Hey, bear. Let's go into Crystal Drift Cave or whatever it's called. Or Bearsville. What the f... Or simply What the Fuck Cave. You know, saber cats, bears and wolves all living in harmony. That's very concerning. Hankering because my hands are really dry. What the f... is going on with this cave? Like, seriously. What the fuck is going on with this cave? The spiders, the bears, the wolves, and the saber cats are all living in harmony. It's weird. Nothing said we couldn't take our shit back, did it? Hey, Gadnall's vanilla. Oh, they've tracked me down. Let's get Nerf Shower out. Let's just get it out. Let's just... Oh, you want this, do you? Well, you can have it. That's a new... Wait a second. It's because I must all cast as destruction because I'm not burning up enchantment. Wait, maybe it was Gadnor that made everything work together, or the fact that they're destroying a Kinnereth. Maybe that's why the animals will work together. Who knows? Kinnereth does strange things. And that is a vanilla location. I know it's a vanilla location because I've been there before. Because Gadnor's Staff of Charming is there and it's a legacy item. Which means it must be vanilla. And this is what I think it is. This is Urkund. Because I find it funny that for Legacy, the unique Dwemer rune that Legacy adds is one that is actually pronounceable because most Dwemer names aren't. Yep, Urkund. Yeah, that's Urkund. I wonder if these hybrid soul cultists came about as after a joke of how ridiculous this is a glitch that you can get where you can be both a vampire and a werewolf. Because that's what they clearly are, there's like sort of a hybrid of both. Makes you wonder if that's what Eric came from. Ding, 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 ding. Wiggle, wiggle. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, got the first bit right, but not the second bit. Durr. And getting up here legit is actually really difficult. Yeah, that monster's close, isn't it? Yeah, let's go this way. Oh. I know what that is, and I can't get up there. That's part of Urkund. That's how you get up there, legit. Is that fort.
Hold. Now cast.
I'm pretty sure there's better nothing's vanilla. Get away from the menu. Yep, vanilla. There's a lot of weird stuff up this mountain. I don't know why.
Hold. Now cast.
You know, this pretty much unclimbable mountain has stuff up here where you wouldn't normally be able to get to. It's a bit weird. I think that's the Mage College one. I think. Yeah, that's an age college one. I'm highlighting why the doors are locked. You know, I get places I really shouldn't be able to go. Yeah, because there is a lot of weird crap up this mountain. You can get up to that you really shouldn't be able to, but that's the nature of Skyrim mountaineering, and if you really want to balk things, there's this thing called horses. Of which Skyblivion is redoing and not using Skyrim's horses. Yeah, they've shown off the unicorn being ridden by the Ebony Warrior. Because the Ebony Warrior of Skyblivion is kind of the mascot now. you know the one that dances. Not the Ebony Warrior of Skyrim, who's just a giant red guard. No, the Ebony Warrior of Skyblivion is one that dances everywhere. What is this place? Anchor wound cleared. Turned to Froki. Froki dokie. Where are you, Froki dokie? This shack in the middle of nowhere. You know, other than the Dawn Guard, I think Froki's the one who gives you the most legwork for your quest. Because he sends you to like all bleak corners of Skyrim. Look! Wolves! Wolves. Because Froki's shack is in the middle of nowhere and he sends you like everywhere for his bloody spirits. So I think excluding the Dawn Guard, he's the guy who gives you the most distance to cover effectively. What's that thing? Oh, she didn't see me. I don't have to kill her. Or more specifically, summon Aldrin's mighty ass to kill her. She's seen me. Oh, come on, I need you, Aldrin. Get your fat butt in here. He's so helpless. Should have worn heavy armor. Run away, run away, run away. How's Alduin's ass gone? I can't see. There it is. Oh, missed. That's the one shot I can actually take these things down. So it's specifically designed to take them down, that's why I did it that way. It's dawned on me that like dragon versus dragon fights are really, really awkward. I mean, Like, I don't even think player can go that high outside Meridia's beacon. It's... That's, like, throw to the world level high. Look at it! It's ridiculous! They've actually ceased attacking, they're just spiraling up, just spiraling around doing nothing. Oh great, that beast's found its way down. Oh fuck it, I'm gonna try something stupid. Dead. Got it. Got it. Oh fuck. And a scripted kill, even God mode won't save you. Run away. Wait, I had a really stupid thought. Why didn't I just use this? It doesn't have a range to go like bloody orbital, but the thing is, this spell is completely useless if you don't have like massive destruction cost reduction, because it just burns through your MP so quickly. Summon the golden saint to get rid of it. Which one was that? So, that was the Elder. I forgot to update that earlier. Oh, Froakie.
Let's hear it. Maybe you're not so soft after. I'll anoint you with the symbol of the bear, the saber cat, and the mammoth. Tread. Here's where you need to go. All right.
Guardian Bear. Okay, so the Bleak Guardian Saber Cat's in the arse end of nowhere. The Guardian Bear is going to be near Riften, and the Guardian Mammoth's at the Mammoth Graveyard. So, oh yeah, the Guardian Bear. No, the Guardian Bear's in Falkreath. Because of course, I did say send it to like. I did say send it to like every bloody corner of the world. If it's possible, I'm sure he'd send you to Morrowind and Tamriel, and Cyrodiil and Hammerfell. Because I think he's trying to get rid of you. Where's it going? It could clearly land here because there's like a corpse down here, but no. Not dead, the mighty beast that is the saber cat. Oh no. How rude! No, I'm going to leave them. I get to my wicket at about 4 AM every time. So let's just go. Boink. Boink. I am aware of time for once in my life. No, if that's the alchemy shack, we'll stop there. It should be the alchemy shack, but you never know. Cleanse the area of wolves. Quite why the alchemist shack doesn't have any doors, I don't know. You know, in a land where it's cold, you'd think doors would be more prominent, wouldn't you? But no. The alchemist shack's a nice place to sort of live for a while. Then again, it's got no it's got like window holes, but the lack of doors does bother me a bit. It's a bit weird. I'll save it by the alchemy shack. Anyway, so that is the. I don't like it when it like gleams like that. That is the end of this stream. Thank you for watching, and apologies for the incredibly slow reactions to chat. I'm not used to seeing it nowadays. Subscribe or donate if you want. Donation links in the description as per usual, as is a list of all past streams. Don't forget to like the stream. It helps YouTube's terrible metrics. That's everything. Good. Bye. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cease.